The contents of this video falls under the United Nations Declaration on the Rights of Indigenous People, Articles 8 and 16. This video cannot be discriminated against. For Aboriginal, Atwapthong, Americans are entitled to fair access to non-indigenous media platforms free of discrimination. Non-compliance is a direct breach of international law.
Please support Black, Aboriginal, American media. Action News Network is not and probably will never be monetized by YouTube. Tell YouTube to eat a dick by liking, subscribing, and sharing, and also help a nigga out by donating to PayPal/DK Jackson II by using 2 capital I's. Thank you, cause a nigga is broke.
Oh yeah, it's time to get into the prophecies of Negrodamus, alright? If you remember from the Chappelle show when Paul Mooney did the Negrodamus skit, it was one of the funniest shit. But there's some truth to Nostradamus, which he was fucking making a parody of. Here's Nostradamus. He was a seer in the 14th century in France. All right, we're gonna do it from a black perspective, from a Negrodamus perspective, from a Nostradamus perspective. Remember the album Nostradamus? Not one of Nas's greatest, but we're gonna use his picture or whatever. But let's really get into it, alright? Is Trump the Antichrist, yo? Mabus? It was the third Antichrist who was named Mabus in the fucking in his prophecies. Let's check it out, alright?
Under the Fair Use Act of 2007 and the Copyright Act of 1976, credit for work and sources duly belong to said author and not Action News Network. The following is being used for educational and/or entertainment purposes only and not for monetary purposes. ANN reserves the right to educate American Aboriginals on non-indigenous platforms as protected by the United Nations and the First Amendment of the United States Constitution. Booyah!
So I took a couple of Nostradamus quotes out of quatrains out of a book, and we're gonna look at this from a black perspective, yo, like Negrodamus kind of shit. All right, Mabus will soon die, and there will come a dreadful destruction of people and animals. Suddenly, vengeance will be revealed. 100 hands, thirst and hunger when the comet will pass. Mabus was the name that Nostradamus gave to the third Antichrist, right? Now, when you look at this shit on the History Channel, all this other stuff, they try to make the name come together and shit. I don't really care about all of that. I don't care about what the prophecy is. No prophecy is gonna be 100% correct. Names might be messed up or whatever, but people will fill in these roles. Now, there's been a lot of talk of this third Antichrist will probably end up dying, right? While he's in the middle of doing what he's gonna do. They basically be crucified, alright? And this is gonna happen amongst a bunch of destruction. Also, you're gonna see a lot about a comet that will pass. You're talking about comets all around us right now. And we already have a lot of destruction and shit with the earth changes. Let's continue. The false trumpet concealing madness will cause the Byzantines to change its laws. From Egypt, there will go forth a man who wants the edict withdrawn, changing money and standards. All right, a lot of this shit we don't know because to me, Byzantium, which was the Byzantine Empire, Ottoman Empire, Carthage, whoever was the rival of Rome, in the Vatican at the time. These all were given different names, and Byzantium was one of them. The false trumpet, I think that's kind of crazy because we got President Trump in office and concealing madness. There's a lot of madness going on behind the scenes. He's concealing it, but he's gonna fucking let it be known when the time is right. And there's gonna be a change in money and standards real soon. So, and again, with Egypt, I showed you 100 times, we don't know where Egypt really is. Is it in the Middle East? Is it here in America? Was Egypt a time and a place or a place? But it's saying, because Egypt's America, right? You go forth as a man who wants to eat it withdrawn. That's someone who's going against the grain, the standard. And you gotta understand, like, now that we know that that Jesus is false, that Jesus is pagan and a devil in disguise, and made Christians worship. I mean, make the Hebrews worship, or make the world worship a pagan on a paganistic holiday, with the comfort of the Hebrew faith and the Torah. So everything's all fucking mixed up and shit. This comes from a man who couldn't say much either. During his time, he would have been executed, crucified by the fucking Vatican, by the Catholic Church. So maybe the fourth trumpet is Trump. Maybe Byzantine is those who are going against the Vatican-backed, the Zionist-backed deep state. All right. So this could be talking about a man who's going against all of that. You know, wants to change the money and standards, because we know who controls the money and the standards. All right. The great plague in a maritime city will not stop until death is avenged by the blood of a just man taken and condemned for no crime. The great lady is outraged by the pretense. All right. There's going to be a plague in the maritime city. Now, if it's in America, the maritime city probably will be New York. New York is probably the most important port city in the country. All right. And it will not stop until death is avenged by the blood of a just man, taken and condemned for no crime. Well, again, I'm not the biggest supporter of anybody. I don't support anything in politics, really, but I do call it how I see it. All right. If Trump was, because I know we all want, you know, there to be some black guy come down and save everything right now, shit. Maybe in the future, but right now it's not happening. So you might have to look at a couple of these albinos and see what the fuck is going on, all right? So, right now, they're trying to impeach Trump, but they really have nothing on him. They just don't like what he's doing because he's going against the deep state. So what's going on is that they're trying to, like, make up crimes, trying to make up shit with him and stuff like that. And he could very well get impeached for no reason, all right? And that would be someone taken and condemned for no crime. The great lady might be the United States, you know, but who knows? Whoever it is gonna be outraged by the pretense. All right, maybe a lot of this shit probably hasn't happened yet, so you gotta look in the future. Maybe a lady will, or maybe the great lady is, check it out, maybe the great lady is Hillary Clinton, right? And she's outraged by the pretense, if you really think about it. All right. Either which way, like, I could read these people's fucking interpretations of it, but yo, to me, it's like it's a bunch of bullshit. They try to like make shit together, whatever. I'm just gonna read these things out and tell you what I think. Alright. In the year that Saturn and Mars are equally fiery, the air is very dry. A long meteor from hidden fires, a great place burns with heat, little rain, a hot wind, wars and raids. We know there's a lot of wars and raids going on at this time. All right, in front of you and behind the scenes, Saturn and Mars are equally fiery right now. When I'm in Arizona, I can see Saturn and Mars every night, which is unusual. All right, there's supposed to be certain times of the month or the year when you can see these stars, these wandering stars, very well. I see them with a naked eye. All right, so I'm saying they're equally fiery. All right. The air is very dry, but like I said, I'm in the desert, so you know that's a given. I don't know where you're at right now. I know there's a lot of fucking weird weather all over the place, especially in the Northeast where I'm from in New York. They've been getting a lot of that's strange with OD weather, I say. Along media, we had a shitload of meteors this year. They've been increasing. I've never seen so many meteors in the area going around the planet, the Earth plane. I haven't seen so many in probably my whole life. From hidden fires, a great place burns with heat, little rain and a hot wind. California, all right? Check out the wildfires in California. Check out the suspicion of those wildfires, all right? When you call them hidden fires, that means they're occult fires, weird fires, fires that probably shouldn't be going on. Fires that just burn the houses in the neighborhood but don't burn the trees. Fires that melt cars like they've been evaporated. Brush fires don't do that. Brush fires take out trees, houses, and they do damage to cars. They don't melt the metal. It's not hot enough to melt the metal or melt the tires or burn the interior. But these things is like damn near melting the metal. So that's what I think the hidden fires burns. You know, Great Place burns with heat, and it's been droughts there. There's little rain and little wind. You know what I'm saying? And that's a good prophecy right there. I really dig that one right there. It makes a lot of sense. This man will be called by a barbaric name that 3 sisters will receive from destiny. Alright? Basically right there, he's look up the 3 sisters in Fatima, Portugal, who got the prophecy or whatever and shit that came down. You know, and the Vatican's like holding on to that shit. Who knows? I don't really trust the Vatican too much and shit. I grew up Catholic. I know the Vatican got a lot of secrets and shit. But if there's some truth to that shit, man, and you remember the Vatican ain't released the third prophecy or whatever that the ladies in Fatima fucking received and shit. But if there's some truth to that, then he predicted that shit. If not, the Vatican took that, they've been reading this, they got every book and reading everything and shit, and just falsified this to trick the people who are into the Negrodamus prophecies, alright? He will speak then to a great people in words and deeds more than any other man will have fame and renown. Basically, he'll speak to a great people, obviously, you know, us here in the United States, in words and deeds more than any other man will have. I mean, he's really a man of his word. When he says he's gonna do something, he's damn sure gonna try to get that damn thing accomplished. I say the Antichrist, if it is Trump. He says he's gonna fucking build that wall, starts building that wall. He says he's gonna deport the fucking illegals, start deporting illegals. He's giving a lot of fucking tools and a lot of clues and shit. What's going on with this QAnon shit, and I really encourage y'all to look into more about that. I might do another video on the QAnon situation, but there's a million people doing that, so it's like I don't want to like waste my time doing that, you know. More than any other man will have fame and renown. This dude, he probably was really well known before he got into office, Trump. You know, being in New York. His name is everywhere on buildings and shit. He owns like half of Manhattan. So, you know, on the East Coast, we know him very well. He got casinos all over the place. Atlantic City, Connecticut, he was working on them deals with the Indian casinos up there. I think he has something in Vegas. For the rest of the country, y'all would know him from goddamn, what's them shit's called again? The Apprentice show. So that's a man of fame and renown, right? Let's continue. Which made him a real controversial figure, right? It's a real interesting fucking one right here. The Moorish law, right, will be seen to fail, followed by another that is more pleasing. The Daniper will be the first to give way through the gifts and tongues, right, of another more appealing. Now, understand that this was written in the 1500s. The United States didn't exist yet. They were still trying to colonize or work with the Aboriginals in America and shit like that. In land, gaining land for their colonies or whatever, the European colonies. The Moors are very much in control of a lot of these dealings and shit. So, and I think that we're not being told everything, you know, that we did about history. That's truthful. I mean, how long? Because let's get off the Moor thing, the Moor science of America. That shit throws you off and gets people pissed off. You know, like even I have to like, you know, when I see shit about Moor, understand every black person was a Moor, Ethiopian, or a fucking Saracen to these fucking white people, right? So when they say Moor or Moorish, it has nothing, you know. If he's seeing a place in the lands of the Moors, which was the Moors controlled, and there's a lot of turmoil or shit there, he's gonna call it by what he sees or what he knows it to be today. All right. So at one time we was in control as blacks, Moors, whatever you want to call, Aboriginals, Indians, whatever you want to call us, we was in control. But something happened and we fell, followed by another that is more pleasing. Maybe we thought we can work together or something like that. Something sounded really well. Something that got us thrown off our square, right? The Dnieper, which is a river in goddamn Germany, I believe, will be the first to give way through gifts and tongues to another more appealing. Maybe, I don't know. We know there's Prussians here from Germany. They helped in a lot of wars and stuff that was going on here. Who knows why they were sending German troops here, but we know the Prussians were in here. All right. Maybe there was a lot of more German Americans at this time. Who knows? Because I don't think this is talking about Germany. But let's get away from that Dnieper shit. Because a lot of times some shit gets thrown in and switched in. First to give way through gifts and tongues, more of another more appealing. We know English is a tricky language, is a spell binding language, a spell casting language. We know Latin is a tricky language too, and it's using to help make this other language that has tricked us and our ancestors for generations, and it's called legalese. All right, so that's what I see when I see through gifts and tongues more appealing. The coons are always bought off by gifts and shit. So this is something about the changing of the guard. All right, and I think the guard's gonna change back. So there's a reason why I picked this this little quatrain right here. And remember, all this shit's not all in order, all right? But it's made to make your ass think and to show you some certain shit. If the Moorish law fucking failed, but then maybe the Moorish law will be returned again, right? That will happen after the Antichrist does what he has to do. So just keep that in mind, right? In the year Saturn is in conjunction with Aquarius and with the Sun, the very powerful king, right, will be received and anointed at rings and 90s. After the conquest, he will murder innocent people. In the year Saturn is in conjunction with Aquarius, right? Saturn is out every day. I don't know if it's in conjunction with Aquarius, but Aquarius is the age we're in now. So it could have something to do with the age of Aquarius and the sun. So all this could have something to do with each other. The very powerful king will be received and anointed at rings and east. I don't know what those places are, but like I'm not gonna go with the places because at this time they didn't know and have names for every fucking place. He might have to give names that people would know, but just to give the name to a place that he didn't know. If that makes any sense to you. After conquest, he will murder innocent people. All right, innocent people are dying right now. All right, all over the Middle East, especially. Okay, so but I picked this one because of the Saturn in conjunction with Aquarius with the Sun. All right, we're in conjunction with Aquarius. The age of Aquarius just began. Some say it started in the 1980s, some say it started in 2012, and any time in between, all right? All we know now that we're in the age of Aquarius, the age of information, the age of lifting the veil, right? Satan, with Saturn is making itself very, very fucking present, and something is weird going on in the sun. So for him to say all three of these right here, this is why I wanted to fucking put this in here, just to show you that something's up with this date, all right, this time period. Before the battle, the great man will fall, the great one to death too sudden and lamented. Born imperfect, he will go the greater part of the way. Near the river of blood, the ground is stained. Okay, it's gonna be a battle, and again with this person who will die too soon, too sudden. All right, remember I showed you that in one of the earlier quatrains. Somebody very important is going to be killed, martyred, basically martyred, in front of us, in front of our eyes. All right, so keep that in mind because you're gonna hear and see this a lot. Someone's gonna die, and it's gonna be a great war battle. He says it's a lot. You gotta pay attention to this shit. He says it's a lot. Nostradamus. Alas, what a great loss there will be to learning before the cycle of the moon is completed. Fire, great floods by more ignorant rulers. How long? The centuries. until it's seen to be restored. Okay, this could be a continuation of shit. The cycle of the moon completing. I'm not too good with astrology. All I know is there's something strange going on with the moon too. All right. I'm in my 30s, man. Like well into my 30s. I don't remember going outside at nighttime and not being able to see the moon somewhere unless it was cloudy. You always can look up and see the moon at nighttime. Whether it's, you know, it's always within your vision, the view, your field of vision. Just like the sun, you know, you don't go outside and not see the sun, right? Even today, you don't go outside and not see the sun. You could feel the rays coming down and you can find the sun, right? Nighttime, look. Maybe once a week you'll see the moon. Any other time you don't see the moon, it's gone, it's missing most of the damn time. What the fuck is going on? I'm not talking about cloudy days, alright? So maybe a cycle of the moon is being completed. I don't know. I ain't been on Earth long time, like thousands of years, hundreds of years and shit. And these goofballs fucked up history. So who knows where the moon cycle is supposed to be? But something's going on with the fucking moon. And the fire and great floods and ignorant rulers, right? And how many cities and how long the centuries until it's seen to be restored? How long we've been enslaved? Kanye told you 400 years, right? How long? How many centuries is that? It's like three to 4 centuries, right? Let's keep it real. It's a great loss. There will be to be learning, right? Exactly. It means we're gonna have to take it out. We've been taking it out, but I think things are gonna fucking start to improve. All right. I'm seeing a lot of this moons, like Saturn, Aquarius shit, fires, great floods, ignorant rulers. This is something again at this time frame that's going on. All right. 9 will be set apart from the human flock, separated from judgment and advice. Their fate is to be divided as they depart. Whatever that is, KTHL, dead, banished, and scattered. This sounds like the tribes of Judah, right? 9 will be set apart from the human flock. Maybe it's 9 tribes, right? Maybe it's 9 people, but maybe right now, this could be a whole bunch of shit, okay? Because it could be that, all right, for judgment and advice, their fate is to be divided as they depart, okay? At the same time, with this dead, banished, and scattered shit, I could say that 9 might be some of our former leaders and shit that we've seen, all right? You heard homeboy, he said McCain, it's been 24 hours since McCain has been fucking put to death. Not since he died, but put to fucking death, yo. Check out John Kasich CNN interview, 24 hours since McCain's been put to death. Yo, McCain was executed, yo, under the laws of treason, committed treason. He engaged with the enemy, so-called enemy, and was making deals, willing and dealing and shit. And McCain's death was a fucking message, yo, and shit. Maybe it'll be McCain, maybe it'll be Obama next, maybe it'll be maybe it'll be Clinton. Who knows, yo? Who knows who is up next? Okay. We don't know yet. I'm speculating. But maybe there will be a big 9 who will face judgment. Now, whether it be judgment by us, whether it be judgment by Yahuwah, who knows? Who knows right now? Hold on, give me a second. All right, who knows? Let's continue. Under one man, peace will be proclaimed everywhere because of a refusal. Town, land, and sea will be broached. About 1/3 of a million dead or captured. All right. Shit. Again, the one man peace will be proclaimed everywhere. You know, this deep state shit is deep, yo. It's in other countries, you know, Russia's fighting it. China to a certain extent is fighting it. The UK, they fighting it. You know, other parts of Europe, they fighting it. South America, they fighting it. It's all over the world, right? But Trump seems to be the one that's the guy who's out in the spotlight. People are watching this shit all over the fucking world, right? And there's a lot of people, if you see how many indictments was put out last year, or the beginning of this year, or throughout this year, it's a good few thousand, alright? And it might be more and more and more. I haven't heard the latest number yet, but it might be a lot of people who might be put to death or captured, alright? And the town, land, sea will be broached. Maybe let's talk about DC, alright? And when it comes to the light for people who are not as enlightened as we are, fam, you know, like, you got them in your own family, people who can't see the type of shit that I'm putting up here and be like, yo, okay, I understand shit. Because if you subscribing to me and my crazy ass and the shit I put out here, then I know that you think in a totally different fucking way. You care about your people. You don't just go with the narrative. You don't just go with what's popular and shit. You're thinking man, you're thinking woman and shit. And you don't think like the rest of the people, unfortunately, in our society, especially in our so-called black society, alright? So when they find out and shit, when Pookie and Ray Ray on the block find out, when Shaniqua and all other chicks at the hair salon find out about this shit and cry, people go crazy. When the regular white people, them rednecks and shit who can't even put a sentence together, when they find out, it's gonna be looting and rebellion, right? People gonna be like, nah, not them. Oh no, the motherfuckers is lying. Just that third. This is some racist, sexist shit or whatever. It's gonna be looting and riot and rebellion. That's why it's very delicate in the way they handle the situation. All right, you can't just come out right away and say this is what we doing, blah blah blah. All right, this is why all this shit was put on the chans and shit, because they knew only a certain amount of people would actually look at this shit, read it, comprehend it, and be able to take it for what it is. All right, so let's continue. His hand finally through the bloody Alas. He will be unable to protect himself by sea. Between two rivers, he will feel the military hand. The black and angry one will make him repent of it. Alright, I can't do really between the two rivers, the military hand. I think when it says the black and angry one will make him repent of it, I think either there's gonna be somebody who comes up through the ranks, black, who's gonna be a challenge to all of this too at the same time. Or I think maybe he foreseen Yahuwah coming back, for his people and make them repent. You know what I'm saying? Yahuwah is the Redeemer, the only Redeemer. Jesus Christ is not no Redeemer. Jesus Christ is the fucking devil. That's pagan worship, right? He wouldn't know as a Catholic who a black, powerful Yahuwah coming back and making those repent from it. And he will do so with the military because it will be a war. And he's coming back with his army, alright? So maybe that, and then they won't be able to protect themselves, alright? A lot of this shit is very vague. Some of the shit might be coming from the future. But I seen when it said that black one, very I remember years ago when these Nostradamus shit started first coming out, they were saying the black one was, this is back when, especially for some of y'all who might have been maybe too young to remember, during George W. Bush's presidency around like the early 2000s and shit, they were saying that Osama bin Laden was a fucking Antichrist, and that that Colin Powell will make him repent from it, but nah, because it's just totally fucking backwards. When those in the Northern Pole united together in the East, a great fear and dread, a new man elected, supported by the Great One who trembles, both Rhodes and the Byzantines will be stained with the barbarian blood. Alright, Rhodes is England, the English Empire. Byzantine is whoever's against whoever's Rome or whoever's the Vatican, whoever's in power, alright? So England always battles the Vatican, alright, but they're both on the evil side. The Byzantines will be whoever's on the good side of it. So we'll be stained in barbarian blood. I know who the barbarians is. I believe y'all know who the barbarians is in this and shit. And it's basically telling that their time is gonna come. And that is gonna come from people from the north and from the east, alright? Russia and China don't like the barbarian colonizers, for what they've done to, the Americas and a lot of other places, and what they tried to do to their own countries. Because remember, China has been done bad by the barbarians with the fucking the Opium Wars. Remember, the communism was set up by the Zionist barbarians who fucking propped up the communism, you know, the fucking Bolsheviks and all that shit that was going on. And, you know, that almost brought that country down to his knees and shit. And someone like Putin remembers a lot of that shit, all right? So, and they both the North and the East, right? Some do. Algemios will approach the Great Byzantinian. The Barbarian League will be driven out. I believe the barbarians will be driven out of this land here. Of the two laws, the pagan one will fail, meaning Christianity will fall down. And barbarian and freemen, in perpetual struggle. Who are the free men? Who are usually called freemen? What people have the last name Freeman? Just food for thought. Sooner and later, you will see the great changes made, dreadful horrors and vengeances for the moon. Again, you got that moon again, right? It's thus led by angel. The heavens draw near to the balance, alright? Again, the heavens draw near with the moon, you know, and it's led by angel. The moon, right? Where the fuck the moon be at? I'm gonna look again tonight. I ain't see it for the last 3 or 4 days. Looking all around. Clear nights out here. I should be able to see the moon, yo. The moon's going missing. It's really fucking crazy and shit, alright? But maybe it's drawing back to balance, alright? And it says sooner or later you'll see the great changes. If you don't notice what the fuck is going on with these fucking weird weather and all this weird other shit, then like you're lost, alright? You should understand that. Even if you don't read the paper or watch, you know, Weather Channel or shit, international nothing, right? Just for what's going on in your own backyard, you should be scratching your head, right? He will come to expose the false topography. The urns of the tombs will be open. Sect and holy philosophy to thrive. Black for white and the new for the old, right? Expose the false topography. Topography has something to do with like the land, yo, and shit, right? Trump is exposing that the flat earth, exposing that there's no space, that the NASA has been fucking playing games with us and shit like that, you know? Sect and holy philosophy to thrive, you know what I'm saying? Holy philosophy is no such thing as religion. You're supposed to just hold on to your beliefs and shit. And here goes the black for white, you know, the struggle again. The new for the old, right? He's a lot of times I'm hearing this black and this black shit, man. Black for white shit. You know, one people has been deemed to be black, but they not really black. All right, they really the people, the bearers of light. You know, and I think that Trump is bringing all this together because he's obsessed with the whole Indian shit too. They don't like Indians to me. To Elizabeth Warren, calling her Pocahontas and saying I'll give you $1 million to take a fucking a goddamn test. I think Trump's gonna expose who the real true Indians, who the real true Aboriginals of his land is. All right, I think he's here to expose a lot of that shit. You know, because he's trolling. Like that's the whole thing, yo. And I think he's enjoying it too, yo. Maybe he probably has his own agenda because you know he's barbarian blood, yo. So you can't trust him all the fucking way, but he enjoys trolling, and you know he's always been an outsider when it came to the real, he's what you call new money, not old money, new money. You know what I'm saying? Type of shit. And he ain't part of none of their real royal bloodlines and shit that all these motherfuckers are related to and shit. That's why they hate him. That's why there's so much shit going on with him, right? Like many other prophecies from prophets who foreseeing the future, it's not all perfect. It's not all gonna fit like puzzle piece, but it's a lot of truth to a lot of this shit. If you look at it from our perspective, from the perspective that I just gave you, you can really see some crazy shit. And a lot of it is true. A lot of it has come to fruition. Some of it hasn't come to fruition yet. Some of it is about to come to fruition. But we could definitely look at these prophecies from these prophets and definitely make a change. All right. So stay tuned on more Action News Network for more of this shit.